My coworker is upset that I refused to be her man of honor. I had to involve HR.
Oh boy.
HR's involved. This happened yesterday, and I'm still confused. Yesterday was my first day back to work after being off for 2 weeks. This is kind of important. One of my coworkers had gotten engaged the week before I left. When she announced at work, we all did the congratulations and happy for her type of things. Congrats! I thought it was over. So when I left for vacation, the last I knew, no plans had yet been made. By the way, this comes from user JustARN on the r/OK storytime subreddit. Then yesterday, when I went back to my work, Boss K, let's say Boss Kim, and best friend L, Lisa, Kim and Lisa, said that coworker C, Chris, was looking for me. I asked what was up, and they weren't sure, but she was carrying a little gift bag. A few minutes later, Chris found me and asked how my vacation was. I was telling him about it, and she cut me off and said she had a very important question to ask. She handed a little gift bag and asked if I would be her best man of honor for her wedding. I thanked her and told her that typically this would traditionally go to a close female relationship. She responded that there was nothing traditional about her wedding, so it was all good. I looked over at Lisa and Kim, who were both trying to keep from laughing. I again thanked her, congratulated her, and told her that I wasn't interested in being part of her wedding party and that I would be happier being a guest in the audience. I swear, when I said this, it was when we watched her entire demeanor change. A flipped switch went off. She went off saying I have to be in her wedding and that she doesn't understand why I would say no. I just got back from vacation.
I don't really know you.
I don't know you like that. I told her that we only knew each other for a short time and that I had no interest in trying to plan parties, dinners, and shopping trips. She told me I needed to think about it and she would get back to me later. You need to think about this and I'll be right back. I told her, go for it. But my answer will be the same. She walked away and I looked at Kim and Lisa and asked, what the ever-loving fresh creepy heck was that? Kim started to laugh and said she didn't know, but saying no, like I did, might have saved me a lot of headaches in the future. Lisa made the comment that she went straight to Bridezilla, and this was a look into what she was going to be like. Chris came back today. However, she went with a different approach and handed me a list of what she wants me to do and her vision of how she sees things. I asked her why she gave me this, and she said that as her man of honor, that these were my responsibilities. I told her again that I was not going to do any of this. She started again that she needs me to do this and how much fun it was going to be. Then she asked, haven't you ever wanted to be part of something special? I don't know you. I told her I was a nurse. Enter Kim, who could sense that I needed help and told Chris one of her patients needed her help. I told Kim if this keeps up, I might need her help. She said she was already watching it and would intervene if I needed it.
That's nice.
I think you needed it at the very beginning.
Oh, yeah.
You're laughing over there, but guys, throw me a bone. I just got back. I don't want to be part of this. What did I miss? We aren't that close. She just transferred down to my unit from a different unit 6 months ago. I had no idea who she was until that point. Lisa is saying that she is close in age to me and she might feel that to be enough of a connection, which it's not. Did I miss something? When we were asked, are we supposed to automatically gush and jump up and down in excitement? Why is saying no a bad thing? There's an update.
Clout. This is all for clout. Nothing's traditional about my wedding.
And she has no guy friends and like this is like the only guy here.
I don't even think she doesn't have any no guy friends. I think she just wants to have a mate. Well, probably because she doesn't have any guy friends, she can't get a man of honor.
Yeah. I think all of them backed out and like, oh, he'll have to say yes.
He'll have to say yes. I could not imagine knowing someone for 6 months and then, hey, you're going to be my man of honor. Yeah, imagine if she does have friends, how they would feel. As if like Keon was my like best man, my brother.
I would say no. Yeah. I would be like, oh, dude, I appreciate you, but no, that's okay. I'd be like, yeah, I'll celebrate with you, but I'll go to the wedding. I'll maybe have a fun speech for like 2 seconds, but I'm not taking that mantle. Update. Hey, everyone. First, I apologize. I never thought this was going to go as crazy as it did. I want all of you to know I read all of your responses and responded to as many as I was able to. Thank you all for your amazing insights and comments. Many that made me laugh, which I needed. I have been sick, and that really helped to cheer me up. Thanks, Internet. I had to meet with my lawyer today regarding family issues. My neighbor slash best friend slash coworker Lisa took me. Shout out to Lisa. I really felt awful and driving wasn't a good idea. We were talking about this on the way and we both were asking a lot of the same questions that all you were asking. The big one was that we were asking about the circumstances of her transfer. She went from med-surg 4W to the ER. To those who are in the medical field, I don't know what that means. It sounds like a lot, but maybe in the comments you guys know how crazy of a transfer that is. That is a huge change. I have to work tomorrow, so we will see what happens. But Lisa and I are going to ask Kim about the transfer and raise a couple of other concerns. After I got home from the meeting with my lawyer, I slept the rest of the day. Many of you asked about if Chris and I hang out outside of work. The answer is a flat no. I really don't know anything about her. I have helped her a few times with patients and different things, but that's in the workplace. But our relationship is 100% purely work related. Oh, come on. We're more than just work buddies. We're buddies. That was why I was so surprised that she asked me to do this. It didn't seem like she was asking anymore. It seems like she's attacking, like forcing. That is why I was so surprised that she asked me about being the man of honor. I have a very small friend base, and in all honesty, I like to keep it that way. I really have no interest in being part of this. I'm not a wedding person. After reading so many Bridezilla stories and hearing about over-the-top weddings, they've become a huge turnoff to me. Spending tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands of dollars with insane, unrealistic demands that turn people against each other. Yeah, we've heard about those. Why? I would rather use that money and spend that time planning my next trip or vacation, which we never learned about. 2 weeks off? That's crazy. Many people said that I was being used as a token or a prop in a wedding, or a gay best friend. I never really thought about it. I admit that I'm out and proud, but I'm not going to just pretend to be someone's friend just so they can fulfill some kind of fetish they have for wanting to have a gay best friend or some kind of status she feels the need to fulfill.
Or she could pay you for it and be like, hey, bestie, I will do this for 10 grand.
I would be your gay best friend. It takes me a lot to get offended, but if this were actually the case, I would really be rather offended. I was not put on the face of the earth to be someone's play toy. A lot of people have said that maybe she doesn't have a boyfriend. She does. She has brought him in before. If she has any insecurity, I don't understand it. She's attractive, smart, and knows her stuff. So I'm at a loss as to why she's acting like this. A lot of people say, go to HR. It's not even respectful anymore at this point. It's like, you're going, here's the list, do this, thanks. Love you, bye. I'm starting that process with my boss, Kim. Especially if both Lisa and Kim are your bosses, they already know what's going on. She's completely aware of the situation being with us when all this happens. She has told me that she is watching the situation and will jump in if I need her to. I trust her completely. While Kim and HR can control the situation from the hospital, they can't control the situation from a personal level if she were maybe to follow me home or something like that. So I think that covers it all. I wish I could say this is over, but most likely there is more to come. Set your update me. Update 3. I keep forgetting to thank my boyfriend. He has been with me on this, but more in the background. First, when we were laughing about it, but when everything happened Thursday, he was there as well. Lisa was able to get him away from his unit for a little bit, for it'll be okay for a boyfriend hug. He stayed the night with me a couple of nights as well, also helping with me being sick. So yeah, I'm very lucky to have such a great support. This intro is going to be long, but I'm telling you about this for a reason, and later in this update, it will make sense. I'm hoping this will be done and that this will be the last of the whole situation. I was born into a family where I was referred to as an issue that needed to be dealt with.
Ooh.
That's not good.
It's not fun.
No. I lived in the shadows of my sister, who was the child my parents wanted. They wanted one child, which was a girl. That way, dad had his daddy girl and mom had her mommy little princess. Then I came along. Keep in mind that I'm 23, so back then my parents had options, but chose to not use any of those options. So instead, my parents raised my sister, and I was raised by a nanny who even to this day is one of the biggest influences in my life. And I am so grateful for her. She helped me with so much. I finally realized that all these years later, that by referring to as a issue that needed to be dealt with, that they stripped me of my humanity and individuality and self-worth as a person. I think that's why I have worked so hard to establish myself in my career and in my life as a way to become a person again and not to just be that issue that needed to be dealt with. This past Thursday, things came to a head with the bridezilla known as Chris. And the truth came out. All right, now we're getting somewhere. My best friend Lisa has been sticking close to me when we work together. If Chris was to start something, we weren't sure if she was going to leave it alone or start up again. I was really hoping that it was done, but she had to try one more time. I've been sick. I had a busy morning, so I really just wanted a few minutes to go to the bathroom, grab a quick snack, and maybe, I don't know, breathe. Chris came up and had her list and asked if I had a few minutes to talk about the wedding planning. I looked at her and told her again, no, that I was not interested in being part of her wedding and that I was not going to help in any way. And she needed to drop the subject and leave me alone. Again, she went into the whole thing of how I was going to do this and how much fun it was going to be. Does this look like I'm having fun?
Does it look like I'm enjoying myself here?
Here we go with that line all of you loved for the first time. Why in the ever-loving fresh is it so important for me to be your man of honor? I'm not interested and I'm not doing it. It is exactly as pretty much all of you told me it would be. She was just planning on using me as a token or a play toy. She took all of our effed up gay stereotypes that are out in society and put them into one sentence. What modern liberal woman isn't going to have a gay bestie on her arm for special events? I felt everything in my stomach move and a wave of nausea came over me. I felt like I couldn't get to the bathroom fast enough. This pissed Lisa off to no end. Lisa is really kind, like the overprotective sister that I wish I would have had, and took Chris off to visit our boss, Kim, and they laid it all out. Everything that was said, while I wasn't in on the conversation, Lisa and Kim filled me in on what was said. Kim came back to check on me, and I was still hiding in the bathroom. She knocked on the door and asked if she could come in. I asked her for a bottle of water first. While I was waiting, I realized two things. I realized why I chose not to hang out with her, and why I didn't like her. I couldn't figure out why I didn't like her, just that there was something that gave me the heebie-jeebies. But I realized that I didn't like her because she's a different version of my sister. Bossy, you do what I'm going to tell you to do. While Chris is educated and employed, she doesn't care about other people and their feelings. She's like my sister in that sense. If she wants something bad enough, she'll figure it out how to get it. The second thing I realized was that she did exactly what my parents did to me. She completely dehumanized me and reduced me to an entity. Just kind of turned me into a token or a thing for her. I think the word that best describes it is I'm just a play toy. What really gets me, just like my sister, Chris doesn't think she did anything wrong, and I'm being too sensitive and a delicate snowflake. Well, if you don't want to be a sensitive snowflake, you can join us every day live, 3 p.m. PST. Just tap our profile. We have a little bit more in the story, Riley. But again, like you said, you called it.
Called it.
Chris is scum.
Yeah, disgusting, dude.
The fact that, again, you heard the first thing was like, this is a different type of wedding. You're like, oh.
Yeah, that's what they're using them for. Super sad, and I hate that you were looked at as just kind of an object or like something to boost their morale instead of as a human.
You stood your ground. Good for you. And good on your friends, your boss friends. Shout out to you, OP. But let's just go ahead and finish off the story. The next day, an emergency meeting was held at work, and Chris is being suspended pending investigation. And a new transfer is being looked into. Kim made the request for her to be terminated. The director of emergency nursing said this was a last resort, but she was going to be looking into options which could be sending her to a new hospital or facility. This didn't go over well with me. I asked what would happen if she did the exact same thing to someone different. She didn't really give me an answer, but she said she still needs to look into a few things, and at this point, she is suspended. Anyway, here it is. I'm still pretty sick and had to work this weekend. If I can, I'll respond. I want to thank everyone for all the amazing support. I am going back to my lawyer to see if he can figure out how to send her a cease and desist letter to make sure she doesn't contact me. I'm heading to bed. Have a good night. And that's the end of it.
That's the end of it. Awesome workplace.
I think we've seen enough Grey's Anatomy to know, like, yeah, maybe it is real.
Maybe the diseases here are better than some of the people here.
Well, I think maybe if she's getting transferred, they'll have like a little like asterisk for Chris or against C for this story that, hey, she's got some problems. Like, she does her job well, but other than that, she got no friends and she's got problems. But that's the end of the story, guys. Again, don't be forced into a wedding that you don't know the person. That's the moral of the story. Just say no. Don't be coerced or be forced to, do something, especially if you don't know the person. So that's it.